spin out of control afterwards.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on. Clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
Some people think LeBron's athleticism, Clark, has declined over the last few years. He might be the first to admit it. He still looks terrific, though.
Well, he's, you know, that's a natural progression for any player, even if you are LeBron. But he's still an elite athlete by NBA standards.
And he makes the first.
And remember the quote from LeBron on the subject. Obviously, I'm not the 18-year-old kid that I was before, but I can still do the things I need to be successful.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
You know, LeBron was just so far ahead of everyone in the league when he was young. I mean, even a LeBron who has lost a step is more athletic than 95% of our league.
Now here's Williams. McGee with the block. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Shumpert is checked in for Casper. Brandon Bass is checked in for Los Angeles. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, clock is at 3. Bogut. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Los Angeles leading by 6. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with George Karl for just a few moments. He said their main focus will be trying to contain Rajon Rondo. He said, quote, "We all know that Rondo's capable of taking over games. So, guys," he said, "they've got to match his energy and try to keep him out of the paint."
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James.
Taking a look here at some numbers for Darren Collison. Last year, getting it done. He put in about 16 points a game last year, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. And you like what he brings backing up the point guard.
No doubt. I mean, he knows how to run this offense. And that's always valuable coming off the bench.
Off the screen and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And guys, nice to see Bogut out there given all the injuries that he's had to overcome in his career. Just glad to see him at full strength.
You know, Bogut, as I recall, Clark was so distraught by those injuries that at one point he thought he might retire.
Yeah, he gave some serious thought to packing it in after the 2013 season, Kevin. Luckily for his team, though, he worked through it and is as strong as ever at the defensive end.
And the Lakers making a change here. Mozgov's checked in. And he ends up missing both free throws.
And, you know, for Brandon Bass, such a big asset to Boston last year, and they're pushed to make the playoffs, especially after the Celtics had traded away several key veterans. His toughness, his strong mid-range game, that all helped.
So the Kings called timeout. They're first. And going back to Brandon Bass, he was Boston's only enforcer down low once Sullinger went out with a broken foot. At that point, Greg, no one thought the Celtics would make the playoffs, but Bass helped push them in.
And last season, one of the most meaningful in Bass's career in terms of his contributions really counting toward the bottom line. A lifetime role player. The outcomes of many games last year were swayed by how well he performed.
Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
And guys, a loss like that, that's one when you just got to put it behind you as quickly as possible.
You know, that won't be easy, Greg. It's hard not to dwell on that type of performance.
Make some noise. Let's hear it for your Sacramento Kings dance team.
The Kings trail by 10. Outside jumper. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Shumpert's got his first 2 points.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Kings shooting a lowly 30% to start this game out. Here's Williams. It's blocked. Los Angeles leading by 8. And James throws it down.
And a huge lead here early to start.
Boy, you know, right from the tip, there's not anything they haven't done well so far.
A drive by Collison to the middle. Here's AC. Can't get it to go. James with some nice D. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Rondo's running.
No doubt they've come into this game with a really aggressive approach, just pounding the ball inside.
It certainly is working. They're finding the open lanes to the hoop and owning this game early.
Here's Williams after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Williams passes to Collison. Back to Williams. High arcing shot. Mozgov with the block. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Here's Collison. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Clippers.
Yeah, and talking about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
.11 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They retain possession. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Here's Bass. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Lakers lead by 12. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Lakers.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
The Kings trail by 12.
Well, somehow the Lakers managed to avoid ending up in last place in the West last season. Still, it's a far, far cry from the Lakers teams of the past. Only 21 wins for them on the season.
So on the floor for the Lakers to start this second quarter, Brandon Bass is out there with Mozgov. Then there's Nick Young. Then it's Rajon Rondo. And it's LeBron in at the 3 slot. The dish now to Bass. The kick out to Young. Bass with the screen. There's the pick from the arc. Young's shot is off. And for the Lakers against the rest of the West last year, they only went 9-43, Greg, in their own conference matchups.
Yeah, and never a good sign when less than half of your wins come against your own conference. The Lakers know they have a long road ahead of them to get back to their years of Western Conference dominance.
Here's Bellinelli. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Clippers.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Rondo. It's a 10-point game. James a screen on Collison. Rondo drives in. Young with no one around. And it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists in the game. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Collison, no good.
That'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
Here's Collison. Timeout called by the Kings.
And guys, it looked like Nick Young had finally put it all together. I mean, he had a huge campaign 2 years ago, signs a new 4-year deal. Then last year, disaster strikes. I mean, he provided very little to the team outside of shooting the basketball. And even with that, he dropped to a career worst, 37% from the field.
Here is Caspi. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Clippers.
Yeah, but I also thought the rebounding was impressive. He got some huge boards in that game. And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Greg, getting back to Young, it's tough to completely judge him on last year's numbers because he was fighting through knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kinds of things. Clark, they only played 42 games.
Yeah, but when he's right, he can light it up. I mean, he's a go-to scorer, but he just never got right last season.
Now here's Rondo. He's got 6. Dishes it to Mozgov. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot, and so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
That's his first personal foul.
One thing you can say about Rajon Rondo's career, he's come up big in the biggest of games, had 6 steals in the closeout game that gave Boston its 17th championship. Remember that back in 2008 for Coach Doc Rivers.
I really do. And after that Boston win in the series against the Lakers, Phil Jackson called Rondo the star of Game 6. Everyone had always talked about the big 3 in Boston. That year, it was the big 4.
Bellinelli with the 3. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
LeBron against Shumpert. LeBron kicks to Mozgov. Outside for Rondo. Bass with the screen. Just 4 to shoot. It's taken away by Collison. Caspi dishes to Collison. From 18 feet away, again, Sacramento.
And, you know, guys, on the topic of Rondo, you look at his playoff career now. I mean, in 2009, he averaged nearly a triple-double in the postseason. I mean, this guy has great instincts, but he has to have the ball to orchestrate the way he's most effective.
Shots good from Young.
Assist goes to LeBron James.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. They set the pick. A drive by Collison. At the elbow, it's Kufis. Collison inside. He's covered by Rondo. Collison, no good.
And going back to what we were saying, what you hope with Rondo is that he can get back to his full level of confidence. He tore the ACL in 13. He was traded in 14, lost his way a little bit. but he's still young enough to have several really good years in front of him.
Here's Rondo after the made shot from Amon Shumpert. Bass with the screen. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Kukas. Quincy Ace has come in for Caspi. Caron Butler's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Darren Collison. And then for the Lakers, Tariq Black, he's checked in for Mozgov. Lance Stevenson comes in for Nick Young. And Tyreek Evans subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And here's Stevenson for three. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field. Timeout called by the Kings.
Sacramento didn't have a free-flowing offense, and they wanted to get up and down, and it showed in their play transitioning from stagnant to free-flowing.
Sacramento, a team that is likely to put it on the floor to attack. We saw that last year. They have no problem creating with player movement versus ball movement, which is something which is a nice way to kind of begin the transition.
It is, and Kevin, they were dead last in the league in terms of catch-and-shoot field goal attempts. Also near the bottom in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage, so they might have been justified in that.
Now here's Shumpert. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man.
And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. LeBron James third.
Yeah, he had a terrific year last year, consistent, and ended up being one of the best scorers in the league.
The first free throw is good. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Lakers. Brown comes in for LeBron. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. A big part of the problem for the Lakers last year was consistency. Clark, with all their injuries, they had to shuffle the lineup, it seemed, every game.
Well, you know what happened with all that shuffling was they got to see a lot of different players and evaluate them for the future. I think it helped in regards to what they're going to do this offseason.
44 seconds left in the second quarter. Evans kicks to McGee. Cannot hit. Nice D from Bogut.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job. That's a precision shot. You've got to be precise. No room for error on the floater.
Here is Stevenson after the made shot from Amon Shumpert. High post shot. AC with the rebound. Here is Williams. Jacks up a three. That'll do it for the first half. Los Angeles on top. They're up by 7. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, with LeBron and another dominant first half, how do you measure the balance between riding your hot hand and making sure the other guys around you are finding their rhythm?
We just got to be aggressive. All of us, including myself, got to continue to be aggressive in the second half.
LeBron, thank you.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron James putting in some incredible work. He had 16 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. That does it for halftime as the game is just about set to get going again. We send you back to Kevin Harlan and crew for the third quarter.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
What a game for LeBron. He's got 16 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. he's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
The Kings trail by 7. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for Sacramento, Collison is out there with Williams. Then it's Bogut. Then it's Quincy Ace. And it's Caspi in at the small forward position. The Kings shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Misses the three.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their league. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
Bogut. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got his third assist on the night.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
Now Williams. Rondo missing on the three. Misses from short range.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
And what a pickup to get a guy like Carl, Greg, on their bench. As you mentioned, he's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son, Kobe.
That's right. That's right. Family affair.
And the Lakers call time here. And, guys, this is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
Yeah, and they lost the season series to this squad last time around. Maybe a little extra motivation tonight to show they've improved.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Two teams in the bottom half of the conference as far as respect goes. They're both scratching and clawing to try to get a little more of that respect.
Nick Young's checked in for Tyreek Evans. Lakers leading by 6. And Young, here we go. LeBron outside. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Kufis checked in for Sacramento. The Lakers have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7.
And last season, the Lakers finished last in the Pacific Division once again. Second year in a row, they ended up at the bottom of the barrel.
Here's Bogut. The rebound by the Lakers. They've led by as many as 14 points.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
And the Lakers were at the bottom once again in the Pacific Division, Clark. But, you know, these two seasons we've just seen, the last time they finished last in the Pacific was 1975.
Well, they had a 2-14 record against the rest of the Pacific. And we also know, though, the Lakers don't stay down very long. They'll be back on top before long.
Sacramento making some changes. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Bogut. And it's Ben McLemore in for Lou Williams. The drive.
Oh, my goodness. He's just getting nasty on them now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Now here's McLemore. Kicks to Bellinelli. Good, and the assist goes to Collison. Bellinelli's got 6.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those three-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
Shot clock at 6. McGee a screen. Rondo drives in, misses it from 7 feet out. The Kings trail by 9. The kick out to Collison. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
In the corner, it's Bellinelli. Feeds it to Kufas. The shot is off. And the Lakers going the other way now. It's LeBron with the drive. Up top, Stevenson. Bellinelli is covering. And the basket by Stevenson. Sacramento's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
And I think it's fair to say last season was a bit of a transition year for the Kings. I mean, after firing Malone and the injuries to their stars, they just tried to build for the future, realizing that was going to be in their best interest.
And the Kings last year were able to get George Karl to lead the team, a good hire for them. This team did decent under him back in the last half of the season.
Yeah, they still got a lot of work to do, but he can certainly make it happen for him. One of the outstanding coaches in our league. The Kings actually were in it for a while last year, but then had a mini rebuild mid-season.
Some changes for the Lakers. Sacre comes in for JaVale McGee. And Brandon Bass subbed in for Lance Stevenson. There's the pick. Here is Caspi. He's guarded by Bass.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebound.
You know what? That rebound has always been a critical element of the game, and that's why they are now understanding how to win.
Kufas kicks to McLemore. Shot clock at 5. They double him with James. Caspi for 3. No good.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
The drive by Collison. They get the rebound. McLemore. That is good.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
Some changes for Sacramento. Quincy Ace has come in for Caspi, and Caron Butler is subbed in for Bellinelli. The Kings shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those plans.
And even 3-on-3 break. And he gets the bucket. Sacre's got his first bucket of the night.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time. The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Lakers lead by 5. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. And the Lakers have possession. They've led by as many as 14 points. Taking a look at the Lakers. We've got Tyreke Evans. Also Lance Stevenson out there. Brown out there with Mazda. And it's Black in at the 4 slot. Here's Stevenson. Shumpert with some nice D.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Williams passes to Ace. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams. Acey's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Sacramento. Mozgov drives in. A nice shot by Black. The Kings trail by 5. Williams with a clean look. Off target from outside.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
And it's Evans missing.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Williams can't get it to go.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Black, no good.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one. Almost always deadly when he's that open.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
And you know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, during that break, Coach Byron Scott had some words for his team. He told them, the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
And the Kings making a change here. Caspy's checked in. The Kings trail by 5. Williams attacking, and the basket good.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he wouldn't.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Again, Williams missing.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Lakers weren't very good at all last season, Clark, and they just didn't have any teeth in their road game.
Well, you know, they shot threes on the road well, Kevin. Top percentage in the league, as a matter of fact. Still, they just couldn't hold on to leads.
That'll be a 5-second call. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. The drive by Shumpert. The Lakers with the rebound. LeBron's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Stevenson. Good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got 5 assists in the game.
Oh, how about the floater there? Nice drop.
Pass to Caspy. No luck. Good D by James.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
Greg, you can feel the sense of urgency they have to get this thing closed out as soon as possible.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
You know, he just, like every other coach, can't stand when the defense gives up points on the inside. And boy, are they struggling in there.
Yeah, well, they're getting pummeled in there. So you've got to figure out a way to make some adjustments to try to change that around. And that's why he needed the timeout.
And the Kings making a change here. Collison's out there. The Kings trail by 7. And a high bounce as it comes off the rim.
You know, they've been outstanding on the boards, and it's a big reason why they've got a lead. Doing the dirty work down low.
We call that a collabo because everybody's boxing out and making sure they secure the glass.
On its way from Young for 2. Rebound by Caspy.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
The drive by Collison. Williams fires. Sacramento again missing.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Tyreek Evans is checked in for Tarek Black. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Young. Collison against Rondo. Bogut in the corner. Passes it to Ace. Sacramento again missing.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Rondo with the nice dish.
There's 1:38 left in the fourth quarter. A drive by Collison, and just miss after miss right now.
Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on. He's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
Bogut in the corner. He feeds it to Casper. Looking to get back on track here. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, Darren Collison in this one, he's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today. Boy, he'd sure like to have that miss back. Hard to chip away at a lead when you're leaving freebies at the line. And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Lakers.
Clark, looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
Yeah, but they did a better job tonight. They made the most of the extra rebounds, too.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the players.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for James. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
Collison good.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And the Kings will go for a different look here. Kufis checked in for Quincy Ace. Butler comes in for Caspi. McLemore's checked in for Lou Williams. And Curry subbed in for
wow.
I mean, just beautiful.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of serve.
Well, last season, Greg, another year without playoff basketball in Sacramento. A shame to see some of the best fans in the NBA not be a part of the postseason.
That's a great point, Kevin. Now, 9 straight years where the Kings have failed to make the postseason. 29-win seasons aren't going to get you very far when you're battling in the West.
And, you know, you mentioned the 9 straight years without a playoff appearance for the Kings. Their last trip was in 2006. And since then, they've been rebuilding. That's the second longest playoff drought in the NBA.
Curry's shot is off. Now the Lakers on the break. Here's Brown. Rebound Bogut. And here is Curry. Can't connect. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. LeBron, what have you discovered defensively that enabled you to win this ball game?
I mean, well, they broke us down still off the bounce. We want to do a better job of trying to keep our chest in front of them, but we did a really good job of contesting their shots, and it allowed us to get on the boards and get rebounds.
Perhaps not perfect, LeBron, but certainly good enough. Thank you so much. Kev, over to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor.
He accounted for more than half of their points. An amazing output. When there was a bucket they absolutely had to have, he was the guy they went to. Now, that's an awful lot for one player, but he did not let them down.
Well, his shooting percentage up there in the high 50s speaks to how smart his shot selection was. It was really an intelligent game he played, plain and simple. It's all about protecting each possession, and he set the example for them with his excellent decision-making.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a
The 2K Sports pregame show.
hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson.
It's game time in Los Angeles. From the Staples Center, all the crowd ready to go as they look to cheer on the Lakers. Looking at the Lakers, they took the win in their last game against the Sacramento Kings.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Dallas Mavericks. Anderson is out there with Nowitzki. Then it's Matthews. Then it's Jordan. And it's Williams at the point. So for Dallas, their last game, a loss to the Clippers.
You know what? That's a game where the coach might just want to burn the video because there's no question they're a better team than what we saw, but they got crushed on that night.
And I'm still trying to figure out what happened, Craig, quite honestly. I mean, no matter how it looks on paper, you still got to show up and play and compete. And it looked like they were not interested in being there.
And the Mavericks with possession here. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
And they rolled over this team last season, beating them every time they faced off.
Not a lot of competition, really. I mean, they're playoff caliber and took care of business against a team that wasn't playoff caliber and maybe still isn't.
And the second free throw, good. On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point. And their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court. Nice job clearing some space out under the boards and setting himself up there for the putback.
And not just any old putback, Clark, but a big, big follow.
You know, Kevin, you can't be pretty, though, with those second chance opportunities. I mean, just put it in the basket.
And that one's good.
Beautiful play by Lance Stevenson. He's as gifted a passer as we have in the league. You know, for the Lakers, they were okay in the assist department, guys, but they were dead last in the league in secondary assists. That, to me, is indicative of an inefficient offense and also a new stat category. He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Now, here's Stevenson. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation.
And for the Lakers and that secondary assist stat, that just means they aren't making the extra pass, or it means they are holding on to the ball too long. Either way, it hurts the offense.
Here's LeBron in the game against Sacramento. Very impressive. Picked by Mozgov. 5 on the clock. Up off the screen. LeBron James, by many surveys, and no surprise here, GA, the most popular athlete in America.
I mean, the highest paid player in the league. And you know what? He deserves it. This guy has really carried the mantra as the face of our game, as well as anybody. And I tell you what, people now are starting to acknowledge the guy also delivers when it matters.
Free throw good, LeBron.
And you know, for LeBron, he's blazed a trail as far as his business empire is concerned. He gave his childhood friends a chance to manage his affairs. Many thought it was a huge mistake, but he's doing quite well with the guys that he chose.
Good on both.
And for LeBron, he said he'd like to be a billionaire. It's his ambition to have an influence that goes beyond the game. And guys, he is certainly on his way. Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Out left to the wing. Mozgov passes to Stevenson. And too long on the shot.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over.
And it's out of bounds to the Mavericks as Dallas retains possession. And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. Shoots from the elbow. And the jumper falls for him. Nowitzki's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
No one near James as he lets it go. Los Angeles with another miss. Here's Anderson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. 5th, DeAndre Jordan.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
That free throw good from Anderson. The big change last year for the Mavs came when they traded for Rajon Rondo. It looked to be the missing piece for him, Clark, but boy, it just never seemed to come together.
You just don't know. Trades are always risky. You don't know how they're going to work out, and I give credit to ownership for talking to the players to see what they thought about the trade before they actually made the deal.
And things just didn't really work out with Rondo here with the Mavs. Missed a lot of games and at times clashed with that coaching staff.
3 from Stevenson, and the Lakers with another miss. For Dallas, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And the rejection by James. Nowitzki gets a wide open look, and it's off the back rim, no good. And stolen by Jordan. Stevenson against Matthews. Another miss by Stevenson.
And, you know, they said it was the injury, but you have to suspect the Mavs just shut him down in the playoffs. They took a big swing and missed with Rondo in acquiring him, but I think you have to give him credit for at least taking the risk.
Here's James following the score by Dallas, and it's slammed in by Stevenson.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
Tyreek Evans checked in for JaVale McGee. And Dallas also making a switch. Harris is checked in. For Dallas, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Outside Jordan. Wants to get it to Matthews and does. A rebound by the Lakers.
Wes Matthews, a hard-nosed player on the wing. Strong frame, and he really does put it to good use at both ends.
Mavericks trail by 3. Feeds to Anderson. Offensive rebound. The kick out to Matthews. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting. 59 seconds left in the first. Evans goes in, off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Here's Harris after Tyreek Evans has scored. Here's Anderson. Mozgov with the block.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Dallas again missing.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it. Are you kidding me?
For Los Angeles, they have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Los Angeles on top, leading by 9. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career. Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player, Clark, destined for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know, people now talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in NBA history, for sure.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Lakers.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, they've got Pachulia. Devin Harris is out there with Williams. Then there's Charlie Villanueva, and it's Anderson in at the 3 spot.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
Black's checked in for James. Here's Rondo. The rebound by Anderson. Mavericks trail by 7.
You know, you look at Dallas, and that team didn't rely too much on the mid-range or the short game last season, but they could have. They shot 70% from 12 feet and in, excluding drives. That's pretty good.
And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Evans with it. Stevenson setting the pick for Evans. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Evans has got the lead up to 9 now for the Lakers. For the Mavs, and that 70% shooting from 12 feet and in. A lot of Dirk high posts and push shots from their guards will do that.
It isn't the most efficient shot by analytics, but there is a lot to be had in the mid-range. If teams only protect the 3 and the rim, you can feast on them with the little short push shots, and the Mavs did that last season.
Mavericks trail by 11. Dallas calls timeout. Lakers were awful in a lot of aspects last season, and their play at home was a major one. Greg, they just couldn't do anything at home, and I think the fans were giving up hope as well.
And given how pricey those Laker tickets are, Kevin, there was a lot to be salty about in Laker land, so can't be a bottom dweller and charge that much for seats.
And the Mavericks call time here.
You know, the Lakers were a bottom dweller last year. I mean, their home record was 12-29, guys. That was tied for the second worst mark in the NBA.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Rick Carlisle was going over with his team in that last huddle. He focused on their offense and said to his guys, make the extra pass. Don't try to play hero ball and do it by yourself. That ends up leading to bad shots. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
And thank you, Doris. Charity stripe shot. Shot is off. And the Mavericks going the other way now.
And you know, guys, a lot of the problems for the Lakers at home last season was with their shooting. They had the lowest three-point percentage in the league at home. Not exactly friendly bounces for them.
And guys, over the last 2 seasons, Devin Harris has been a backup point guard, but one could argue that he's outperformed the guys that are directly ahead of him.
That's exactly right, Kevin. I mean, Harris came back to the team that he started his career with to be a support player, but injuries, trades, and generally poor fits elevated Harris's importance to the team.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
You know, getting back to Devin Harris, he can really help you. But you want to do one thing, limit his minutes. 11 full seasons under his belt. Slender in build. It's best to play him around half the game if you can.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far.
You know, talking about the veteran Harris, his quickness was still apparent last season. And his skill set was a good fit for Coach Carlisle's slow offense. I mean, this guy's been around a long time, and there are very few that are quicker than him with the ball.
It's Williams with the drive. Second chance shot, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. The Mavericks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
taking 2 shots.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Mavericks last season, Clark, were very tough down the stretch in games. Had a lot of players that shined all the time during crunch time.
Well, when you've got guys like Dirk and Monte that can create their own shot, it gives you a chance to win close games. It's a big reason they were 6-0 in overtime games, in my opinion.
That one misses.
And the Mavs won close ones, as you said, but they knew how to close games out in general. 36-2 last year when winning going into the fourth quarter.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, I tell you, that's what veteran teams do. I mean, they close out games. They know how to finish. The Mavs have the leadership and presence to not let any lead slip away by being inattentive to details.
And you can tell they're just a little out of sync. I think he just wants to get everybody back on the same page.
Yeah, I like this timeout, Greg. I think it's a good one because it looks like they need a minute to talk things through here.
Los Angeles making a switch here. James is checked in. Lakers leading by 10. Now about 3 minutes gone in his second quarter of basketball. And he gets it to go.
Haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Harris kicks to Williams. It's deflected. Anderson dishes to Villanueva. No good with the layup. Lakers have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Stevenson with a clean look. Good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got his 3rd assist on the night. Mavericks trail by 15. Pass to Anderson. To the middle. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. 6 points for Deron Williams.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
Bass can't get it to go.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Pachulia and Dallas again with the bucket.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it too. And Zaza Pachulia, for my money, has been one of the toughest players in the league. He's got a boxer's mentality. Even his face looks a little bit like a boxer's. He doesn't have the quick twitch muscles of some guys, but his power and effort consistently stand out.
Lakers leading by 9. And here is James. He's got 8. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And the thing about LeBron James, he's really done a nice job of reshaping his game over the years. I mean, every veteran goes through losing a little speed and quickness. The great ones compensate by getting stronger and more physically imposing, not to mention also their basketball IQ grows as well, just as has been the case for LeBron.
And he converts the layup. LeBron's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Matthews, no good. We're talking about the strength of LeBron now. We saw Michael Jordan do this too. They paid a lot of attention to their body as they got older, and thus they became more sculpted. They looked more physical.
Exactly. Leaned up and altered their games a bit. Not nearly as high flying, but just as potent and as effective.
Pass to Sacre. Launches it. Here's McGee. They shoot again. Sacre, good. Sacre's got his first 2 points of the night.
He does not play the score. I mean, he's going to continue to...
Look at that shot! How did that go in?
How about that?
Oh! The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Lakers lead by 12. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
I'm here with Rick Carlisle. And, Coach, what have you not liked so far about the way your team is playing?
Well, we weren't into it. We missed the block out. We were taking a couple of bad shots. So we just need to refocus. Key in this game, we got to take away their open jump shots and threes, and we got to rebound.
Coach, thank you for your time, guys. Visibly frustrated over here on the sideline.
All right, Doris, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron James putting in some incredible work. He had 14 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. He came into tonight following a tremendous performance last time out and looks eager for a repeat. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
The field goal percentage was off the Chisnarts, Ernie. Let me rewind it. The field goal percentage was off the charts, Ernie. It was well planned, well executed. They took very few bad shots, and that needs to be the focus from here on out. More smart basketball, don't try to do too much, and open the door for a comeback.
Kenny, how do you think Dallas played?
Well, they're losing the battle on the boards. And when you're struggling to stay in the game, a few extra rebounds either way can make the difference. Because rebounds equal possessions, and possessions can equal extra points. They need to come out in the second half with the mindset that every rebound is theirs.
And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be right back here after the game.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
What a game for LeBron. He has 14 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And Clark, that might not make the highlight reel, but those are important points nonetheless.
Mavericks trail by 12. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So the Lakers 5 right now. Nick Young is out there with Lance Stevenson. Then it's Mozgov. Then it's LeBron James. And it's McGee in at the 4 slot. And the Mavericks with possession here. And Williams, here we go. Sweet little floater. Williams has got 10 points in the game.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
McGee a screen. Young sets a screen for Stevenson. His 3-pointers off the mark.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Lakers leading by 12 and stolen by Jordan. Anderson right side. Can't get it to go. James with some nice D. To the inside. Here's Young. Now here's LeBron. He's got 14. In the corner, it's Stevenson. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
On the wing, Williams. James covering. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Nowitzki. Connects on the foul line jumper. Nowitzki's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And the Lakers call time here. DeAndre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round, and he's made good on it, though.
Lakers leading by 10.
And watching DeAndre Jordan, he's really refined his game over the years without losing the athleticism. He's that rubbery, long-limbed athlete that transcends age. And so far, I've seen zero drop-off in his leaping ability and quickness, but no question he's improved his skills and IQ.
LeBron with it. Williams picks him up. Count that one. 16 points for LeBron.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
And talking about DeAndre Jordan, he is displaying an energy level that many scouts wondered if he had. Let's face it, he underachieved a bit in his 1 year in college. He knows that. So when it's come time to do it at the highest level, DeAndre has risen to the occasion.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Williams. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. He also wants them to concentrate on working as a team at the offensive end. Passing, patience, and teamwork. Those were the messages. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Matthews with it, and Young picks him up defensively. Matthews, no good.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories. Rebounds just being one of them. And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
Well, while we have a second, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a list of the league's top shooters from last season. DeAndre Jordan, number 1. 4th, Timofey Mozgov.
You know, everyone on that list had a great season, an outstanding season, and had a few things been different, their order on the list could have been reversed. I mean, a trade happens or doesn't happen, maybe an injury to a key player. Any of that could have affected where these guys ended up on the list.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
And the first one at the line is good. Rajon Rondo's checked in for the Lakers. Then for the Mavericks, Felton comes in for Anderson, and Devin Harris is subbed in for Williams. And so Bass nails both of them.
You know, another point of contention between every NBA fan is whether or not the age restriction is a good thing. Some want it increased, others want it gone altogether. You know, for me, it's a matter of whether or not you as a team feel that that player can make an impact on your roster.
Here's Rondo, and it's blocked by Jordan. And now Matthews pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Evans, good.
Picture perfect with the turnaround. There's no stopping that shot.
Mavericks trail by 9. And for Raymond Felton, last year was nothing short of a disaster. Missed the first 31 games with an ankle injury sustained in preseason. And he played for a poor team. And things, you know, Greg, being the leader, the ball handler like you were, they just never got much better for Felton as the season went on.
Yeah, the problem when you have that issue early on, the season isn't going to wait for you. Right. You know, you're basically in catch-up mode. And so because of that, he never got into any kind of a rhythm when he was available to play. And that's not surprising, given that he averaged less than 10 minutes a game for the season after averaging 33 a game for his entire career.
Timeout called the Lakers.
And, you know, getting back to Raymond Felton, it looked at one point like he would become the league's next great playmaker, drafted 5th overall in 2005, immediately after Darren Williams and Chris Paul. Felton never quite reached the stratosphere of his fellow draft mates.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Mozgov. LeBron comes in for Tyreek Evans. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
And one last thought about Raymond Felton. I really feel like he's at that classic crossroads in one's career. If his conditioning is there, if he's healthy, he still has the skills and the moxie to make a difference. It just comes down to him wanting to make that effort, which gets harder after a decade of wear and tear on your body.
Well, you knew things would be different for Lance Stevenson out of Indiana, but it wasn't in a positive way at all.
Yeah, he really struggled to find a role with Charlotte, the team he signed with. But remember, he was more of the point forward, had the ball in his hands in Indiana. Not the case with Charlotte, and also rumored to be traded all last season.
You know, for Stevenson, he saw a regression in almost every part of his game last year. Ended up riding the bench down the stretch.
Roof shots.
First one falls for him.
And for Stevenson, it's really hard to readjust to a new system. I mean, he still has all the tools he had in Indy, so he could be a bounce-back candidate this year and beyond.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Lakers leading by 10. Down low. Some solid defense from Harris.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Matthews passes to Jordan. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Grown man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
And we've seen those kinds of plays get them fired up in the past.
And that one's good by LeBron.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Harris kicks to Felton. Back to Harris. Outside Matthews. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. That's 10 points for Wesley Matthews.
No three-pointers for him in that first half, but the second half, different story.
Here's Sacre. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
20 seconds left to play in the third. Harris outside. The pass to Nowitzki. Off target from three-point range. James has a two-pointer. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the fourth. Who will carry the day? Los Angeles on top. They lead by 9. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. Here's Rondo. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. They've got Felton. Matthews out there with Nowitzki. Then there's Darren Williams. And it's Jordan in at the 5, roaming the paint. Wasted no time on that one. 12 points for Wesley Matthews.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
Williams dishes to Nowitzki. Evans with some nice D.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle. He still hasn't been able to convert from the field. He's just struggling to find his shot.
Felton attacking from the high post. Rondo with the rebound. Timeout called the Lakers. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup, and for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game.
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, during that break, Coach Byron Scott had some words for his team. It was clear what message he was trying to get across. He said, this lead isn't big enough that we're safe. Not by a long shot. I don't want us sitting back and milking the clock. Play to win. Show some aggression. Guys.
Matthews, no one around him. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
And defensively, they're on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. Well, for Darren Williams, the injury-riddled campaigns just keep piling up.
Yeah, it's almost difficult to watch considering how good he was when he was healthy. I mean, you're talking about one of the most explosive players in the game over the last decade at the point guard spot. But the injuries, hard to overcome.
First free throw is good.
And guys, for Darren Williams last season, all those injuries finally affected his shooting. 39% from the field last year, the second lowest mark of his career. And he just couldn't create space or elevate to get the clean looks he had grown accustomed to.
And Williams drops them both.
And, you know, talking about Darren Williams, last year wasn't all bad. I mean, nearly 7 assists a game, 3.5 rebounds, a steal. Not the stocking stuffer he used to be, but he still battled and still contributed.
Stevenson passes to Young. Stevenson drives in. And McGee kicks to Mozgov. Stevenson inside the three-point line. And it's Stevenson again missing.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Dallas, no good that time either. Lakers leading by 7. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got his 4th assist in this one. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Dallas calls timeout. And for JaVale McGee, what was once such a promising career is now, Clark, I think, kind of at the crossroads.
Yeah, you know what? He is capable of being a major rim protector and rebounder, but I think teams are getting a little bit impatient with him because he's just not mature to the point that you would have expected.
And for McGee, it looked like he had taken a positive step last year when it was announced he would sign with Boston. The front office even came out and sang his praises. Then negotiations fell apart and McGee didn't play again for the rest of the season. Another in a long line of disappointments over his career.
We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Dallas again missing.
You know, regarding McGee, he spent most of his career eyeing the money. He forced his way out of Washington partly because of it. Didn't sign with the Celtics because he wanted to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. He has to show that he can still play if he wants somebody to really pay.
Williams attacking. Nowitzki. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Williams. And that's 10 points for Nowitzki.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
And finished off by LeBron.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
And so it's Dallas with it. 9-point game. Williams kicks to Nowitzki. Here's Jordan. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And what a tremendous game for Jordan. He's got 8 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And was it a good one? Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he can't get the first one. And he sinks the second. And the Lakers call time here. Lakers leading by 8. Here's James. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
He hasn't had as many opportunities at the line as he had in the first half.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Lakers.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint at all in this game. They have been the aggressors.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Free throw good, LeBron.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
Williams attacking. Misses in close. For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. To the paint. Here's Anderson, and he slams it one-handed.
Well, that's a great pass by Darren Williams.
The Clark thing burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, and maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it.
Mozgov dishes to McGee. Stevenson outside. Goes back up. And that one goes long.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
Harris is checked in for Dallas. There's 1:47 left in the fourth quarter. And the shot is good. Mavericks trail by 11. Kicks it to Nowitzki. Off the left rim and out.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
The dish to Stevenson. McGee, the pass to James. Now the Mavericks moving it up. And here they go. And it's Harris off the drive. Mozgov with the block. Pass break. The Lakers.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for Los Angeles.
Clark, they simply ran him off the court.
It was all about the transition game. Fast break points, the difference.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
The stats tell us, Greg, that the winner of the first game is a big favorite to come out on top in the overall series.
And what a huge standout performance it was for LeBron James. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Then for the Mavericks, Pachulia. He's checked in for Jordan. Villanueva comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. That's Felton in for Wesley Matthews. There's the pick. Screen by Villanueva. Here's Anderson. Good. And a nice assist from Felton.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Harris against Rondo. Some solid defense from Harris. Dishes it to Pachulia. The 3. Raymond Felton, that's good.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
And the Lakers call time here. They're in front by 10. 24 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, I'm not sure why you call a timeout this late. I mean, the game is more or less over.
I think they might just be taking a few extra seconds to enjoy the win. Is that plausible?
Or maybe just rubbing it in. That's possible.
Timeout called the Lakers. They're up by 10. 24 seconds left in the game. .24 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. James right through the knee for the layup. LeBron's got 35 in the game.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans exactly what they wanted.
And the Mavericks call time here. They're behind by 12. 19 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, you know, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Yeah, hey, I'm all for giving messages and teaching lessons, and I respect that, but at some point, if it's over, it's over. I mean, you need to be looking at the next one. This one's done. Forget about it. Let's move on.
Beyond the arc, no good. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily.